subsidiary books. It is also known as subdivisions of the journals. So what do you mean by subsidiary books? These are the separate books. Subsidiary books are the separate books recording similar types of transactions. These are the separate books and recording the similar types of the transactions. So the process of journalizing of each transaction and posting them to respective ledger account is convenient to the small business with a few transactions. It becomes tedious and widely and more time consuming process in a big organization with the numerous transactions. Hence, most practical convenient process is involved. That is subdivision of the journal into various subsidiary books. Subsidiary books are also called as original books or original books of original entry, books of the original entry. But journalizing is avoided in this process. So in the subsidiary books, the journalizing is avoided in this process. Similar type of the transactions will be recorded in one book and they will be directly posted to the ledger. It saves time and also labor involved in the journalizing and posting. So this is all about the subsidiary books. These are the separate books recording similar types of the transactions. Features. What are the features of the subsidiary books? They are the books of original entry. Subsidiary books are the books of the original entry. They provide detailed information regarding to the particular set of transactions. Posting can be made ledger from subsidiary books, and also they facilitate recording when large number of transactions are carried in the business. Periodical total of the transactions of the same nature are available without any difficulty. So advantages. What are the advantages of subsidiary books? So there are some advantages like lot of time and labor is saved while recording in the subsidiary books. As the work can be assigned to the different clerks, internal clerk system will be more effective because there would be a different clerks, like different subsidiary books are maintained by the some clerical, more than one clerical workers. It facilitates easy references every time when information is necessary. One need not go through the journal. More details of the transaction can be recorded in the subsidiary books, which is not possible in the journal. So in the journal it is not possible because more details are not there, but in subsidiary books more details of the transaction can be recorded, so which is not possible in journal, but it is possible in subsidiary books. Classification of transaction will be available for the analysis. In the subsidiary books, classification of the transactions will be available for analysis. So usual subsidiary books like purchase book, sales book, purchase return book, sales return book, bills payable book, bills receivable book. So these are all about the usual subsidiary book. So purchase book. In this book only credit purchase of goods with all the details will be recorded. In this book only credit purchase of goods with all details will be recorded. So in this book only credit purchase of goods from different parties in a chronological order are recorded in this book. Inward voices are filed date wise. Invoice is a statement of details as quantity supplied, quality, brand, rate, amount, trade discount allowed, and that is invoice includes. When the seller sends invoices to the purchaser, it is called as inward invoice. What do you mean by inward invoice? When the seller sends invoices to the purchaser, it is called as inward invoice. So next, trade discount. What do you mean by trade discount? It is a rebate or allowances given by the seller to buyer on the invoice price of the goods. That is, trade discount is not to be recorded in the books of accounts. Usually such discount is allowed on the bulk purchases. So trade discount is a rebate or an allowances given by the seller to the purchaser or seller to the buyer on the invoice price of the goods. This is all about the trade discount. So it includes purchase book includes 5 columns, that is date, particular, that is inward invoice number, LF, that is ledger folio, then lastly amount. So it includes 5 columns in purchase book: date, particular, II number, that is inward invoice number, LF, that is ledger folio, and lastly amount. So this is all about the purchase book. So next we will move on to the sales book. So in this book only credit sales of the goods with all detail will be recorded. It is a book only credit sales of the goods with all the details will be recorded. So only credit sales of the goods are recorded in this book. For every credit sale, outward invoice is prepared in duplicate and sent to the party along with the goods. So here in sales book, outward invoice is prepared in duplicate and sent to the party along with the goods. So ruling of the sales book, that it includes 5 columns, that is date, particulars, OI number, that is OI number. What do you mean by OI numbers? Outward invoice outward invoice number. So this is all about the sales book. It includes 5 columns: date, particulars, outward invoice number, ledger folio, then amount. So this is all about the sales book. Next, purchase return book, that is return outward book. It is also known as return outward books. What do you mean by purchase return book or return outward books? This book is used to record return of goods in the suppliers. Return of goods to the suppliers. When goods are returned to the suppliers, to inform them that their accounts is debited with the value of goods returned, that is debit note is prepared. So debit note is the statement sent by the purchaser to the supplier intimating the quantity and value of goods returned, and also to intimate him that his account is debited with such account. Debit note is prepared in duplicate and one copy is sent to the suppliers and another is filled for the reference. One copy is sent towards suppliers and another with it is for references. What are the reasons for purchase return? Why it is returned? That is purchase return. Why usually returns? Defective and damaged goods. If the seller sends the goods to the buyers, it is defective or it might be damaged or it might be quality difference, quantity difference, or different goods other than samples. So they have provided samples but it is also different, and what they sent, that is also different, and also different goods other than ordered. So you have ordered something and you have got something as a buyer, you have got something or ordered something. So like this, it is nothing but purchase return book. And next, sales return books, that is, it is also known as returns inwards book. So this book is meant for recording the goods returned by the customer. This book is meant for recording the goods returned by the customer. The customer returned the goods along with the credit note. So customer not only gives the goods, but along with that he will give a credit note. That credit note is a statement by the sellers to the purchaser who has returned the goods, giving detail of the goods received by him, and also intimating that buyers that his account is to be credited with that amount. Both debit and credit note are serially numbered and filled with the further references. So with not only the customer returns the goods, along with that credit note is given. So credit note is the statement sent by the suppliers to the purchaser who has returned the goods, giving details of the goods received by him, with intimating the buyers that his account is to be credited with this amount. Both debit note and credit note are serially numbered and filled for the further references. This is all about the sales return books. So next, bills receivable books. So in this book, the bills of exchange received from the customer will be recorded. So bills receivable books. In this book, the bills of the exchange received from the customers will be recorded. That is, bills receivable book is a subsidiary book. It is meant for recording bills receivable received from the debtor or customers. So format of bills receivable book. Format of the bills receivable. It includes a serial number, date of bill, name of the drawee, payee name, tenure of the bill, due date, ledger folio, amount, remarks. So this is all about the bills receivable book. Then what do you mean by bills payable book? Bills payable book. Ruling of bills payable, posting of bills payable book. Bills payable book is a subsidiary book. It is meant for recording the acceptance given to the creditors. Bills payable book is a subsidiary book. It is meant for recording the acceptance given to the creditors. This is all about the subsidiary books. So it includes six types of books: purchase book, sales book, purchase return book, sales return books, bills receivable book, and bills payable book. So it is a process of journalizing of each transaction and posting them to respective ledger account is convenience to the small business with the features. So if business is big means, then they will use the subsidiary books. So they will use the purchase book for purchasing, sales book for sales, purchase return book for purchase return, and sales return book for sales return, and also bills receivable, that should be written in bills receivable book, and also bills payable book, written what are the bills payable, receivable, that would be written in their books. It is all about the subsidiary book. Thank you.